time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
It's time for the first Clapback Thursday of the new year, and we are coming in blazing. I know you've missed me. I promise you I'd be back.
Shoe.
It's time for the only segment in boxing that gives you the facts
onda, vatos
and
locos?
makes you
Okay,
laugh.
I'm
It's
having some
Clapback
crazy
Thursday, so let's
feedback here.
go. This clapback is dedicated
Drew, are you
to the
hearing
worst
audio?
manager in boxing history, Bill Haney.
I hear you.
Something we can all agree on.
All right, guys. Saludos, everybody joining us. It's your boy Dave in the 702 coming all the way from my broadcast studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish, Drew Evo. Que pasa, homie?
Home of the NFC title game.
I do want to apologize for that very, very rough intro. I had a couple of things going, a video that I was going to play, and then I had our regular audio. So it was all fucked up. But today is a special day, Drew, because we're doing our AFC and NFC championship preview, as well as the second half of today's show is going to be dedicated to all my boxing junkies, the Shoe Shine, what we normally do on Monday nights, what we didn't get to do. Because, Drew, you guys have been having some fucking incredible weather out there in Philadelphia. Shout out to all the Eagles fans that went out and withstood all the elements out there. An incredible game. And I have to say, the Rams are a scrappy team. I know we got a lot of Rams fans in our chat. Saludos, everybody joining us right now. The Rams did not pull it off. I didn't think they would, but they're scrappy.
Where's Sin City at?
he should be showing up, but it was a hell of a game. Stafford ran. Let me see. Stafford, y'all didn't hold him to that many passing yards, man. He had quite the comeback. I think at one point, with just in the fourth quarter, you guys were ahead by 13 points. He rallied back almost to be in position to win that game, but the Eagles defense stopped him. So we're going to preview the third time. I don't know if you... I'm playing old De La Soul song out here. 3 is the magic number. Shout out to you if you guys know that old 90s De La Soul song. 3 is the magic number, because this is the third time you guys are playing the Commanders this season. Third time. This is the third time. Well, Josh Allen has lost to Patrick Mahomes 3 times. 3 is the magic number. Is the fourth time the charm for Josh Allen? Will he finally get that victory that he has not been able to secure in his career in the NFL? He's the leading AFC MVP, could be MVP for all we know this year in the NFL. Will Josh Allen finally do it? Can we stop Mahomes from having a three-peat, from being a three-peat? Drew, all this is very, very important to me. Shout out to everybody joining us in the chat, man. I'm going to pour myself a quick shot of whiskey. Saludos to Sonteo Media. I don't know if you guys are boxing fans, but if you do, we're going to be following along with Golden Boy. Golden Boy is fighting right now. They have a fight. And our boy Lukey Boxing, who was on with me on Monday, Lukey Boxing from boxingsing.com and ProBox, is down there covering the fight right now as we speak. So I am watching. Eric Priest is the main event, Drew, and he is a middleweight prospect that I got my eye on, and I think Oscar De La Hoya has big hopes for him. This is in Commerce, I believe at the Commerce Casino down there. So we are watching that. We're going to get into our preview of the NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship game. Saludos to Wiley Coyote, that S Spider, Paul Lem. He says no to the Swifties. You know what? I got this for the Swifties too. Where is that thing? I got a little picture for the... How about this one? How about this one, right? That's a nice hat, right? That's a very nice hat. We're going to get to all why is Mahomes the most favored quarterback in all of the NFL? Every call goes his way. I think they must be the most hated football team in all of the NFL. Drew, let's get started with you. Eagles versus Commanders. Eagles versus Jaden Daniels, the rookie quarterback of the year, the most composed guy. And his mama today said, no girls. This is the key to victory, Drew. The key to victory is no hoochie mamas, no thoughts, no Instagram hoes, none of these clout chasing, bag chasing hoes. That's it. That's the key to victory. That's how she's made her son to be the person he is. No girls. What is the key to victory for the Eagles?
I'm going to be honest. Let's look at it like this. The last time Jalen Hurts was knocked out with 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter, they were up Eagles were dominating. They knocked him out of the game because of a legal hit that should have been called, and those refs were horrible that game. And then, if we look at it, Eagles beat themselves in that game. They didn't have Jalen Hurts. The defense beat themselves. They blitzed them too much. And the game was still winnable. And that's the one thing. The game was won. Now they got to come back to Philly. They're not going to win in Philly. They're not ready yet to win. I think that people and then the defensive coordinator, we're going to hit him like a running back. So you're putting a target on a quarterback. Good way how to get yourself suspended or your team fined for saying that. And good thing how to motivate the other team now. They ain't buying it. Jalen Hurts is okay. He's going to play. He's going to be mobile and everything. Nobody's been able to stop this winning game.
Wow.
So if the Eagles get up, if they can't stop the roster Commanders, this game's over. If they're up early, the Eagles, and they're running the ball really good, Commanders have no shot.
Let's talk about the run game. Barkley had 145 plus yards in both games against the Commanders. The Commanders' rush defense is nearly 30th. They've actually been quite awful for all 2024 to be in the NFC Championship game. They have not stopped Saquon Barkley. But then again, you guys didn't do much passing in this cold weather game. What is the weather going to be like? And do you anticipate Saquon Barkley having he did 200 yards. The incredible TD runs in the snow, man. That was the highlight for me of last week's game against the Rams.
Saquon's going to get 150 yards. And I'm telling you this right now. They're going to pick their poison. I think Jalen Hurts is going to light them up. I think they're going to try to bring people down to stop in the box to stop the one. And you got two wide receivers and Josh Scott there. I think Jalen Hurts coming out party is going to be against in this game. He's going to be you're going to see that passing attack. And then if we look at it, if history repeats itself, this game may be a blowout win for the Eagles.
I know you said that before, and that is quite controversial. Let's give Jaden Daniels a little bit of respect. But 299 passing yards against the Lions last week, 2 TDs, 122 percentage, no interceptions for a rookie. He has to be the most composed rookie. And Drew, to be fair, in the cold weather, the Eagles gave up 324 yards to Matthew Stafford in the air. Will your cornerbacks, will the defense hold up and turn that ship around? Because I anticipate Jaden Daniels is going to try to throw the ball a lot.
Yeah, look at it like this, Dave. The game was in the snow. So, it limits both teams. And if we look at it, the Eagles defense made plays when they had to win the game, and they did. That's the one thing. Now you don't have no snow coming. It's probably going to be in the 40s. And I don't know. I think Jaden Daniels is going to get hit a lot. And I think that if we look at it, I see they're going to really they adjust it to how they lost that game, make the adjustments on them and everything. And we also got to realize that they played a defense that really had 16 starters out of the game and everything. And the Lions ran over them. But no turnovers, got them behind and everything. Jalen Hurts hasn't really turned the ball over. And that's the one thing about it. And if we look at it like this, why they were still able to score 31 points on the Commanders' defense. So it's a specialty that the Eagles can take advantage of. But the difference is when you got a guy, you can take time off the clock and tire somebody's defense and everything. you're gonna pick your poison, and you gotta hope your corners hold up against the Eagles wide receivers, and I don't think they do. Like, I just think that Jalen Hurts is going to make a lot of plays with his feet and with his throwing arm. I'm picking the Eagles to win, and I'm going with like 34-16.
Well, both of you guys have dynamic quarterbacks in the pocket that can run. Jalen Hurts had his own fantastic touchdown run last week in the snow. I'm very much looking forward to that. If you guys are following along or just joining us, we're watching the Golden Boy card right now on YouTube. If you have a second device, don't leave us. Just go over there on your second device. We're watching Eric Priest versus Howard on YouTube. Grant Flores, we're about to get into the co-main event. Grant Flores just picked up his win. As most of these go, right? Most of these Golden Boy cards on weekdays are really trying to promote their prospects. It's not like they're going to get in really tough fights. Drew, I want to bring this up really quickly. I saw this stat today, and this is bothering the shit out of me. We just said 3 is the magic number. We cannot afford to let Patrick Mahomes, as a 49er fan, we cannot allow him to win this game. Josh Allen, a Northern California boy. And when I say Northern California, Drew, he's from a very small town just outside of about 40 miles north of Fresno, California. He is a Northern California boy. That is where we draw the distinction. Anything north of Bakersfield, Fresno is considered a Northern California boy. And that means that he cannot beat the great Joe Montana. We need to stop him this weekend. Patrick Mahomes cannot beat Joe Montana's record of 16 playoff wins. He is currently tied, and he cannot join that exclusive list beating Joe Montana. We will not allow it. Joe, I want to bring up Josh Allen because I've talked about him here. You know, I represent my Niners, San Francisco Giants. Should have worn all my Giants gear today. But Josh Allen grew up in a small farming town. His parents are farmers. And he has an incredible story. Not only is he a lifelong Giants fan who grew up playing baseball, basketball, and football, obviously, but the guy didn't get drafted into a Division 1A school. He got drafted. He didn't get he didn't get a scholarship to any college, Drew. Not Division 1, Division 2, nothing. He went to community college. Josh Allen, in his how many AFC playoff game, went to community college. It was after community college that only 2 universities, I think one of them was Wyoming, where he went, maybe Eastern Michigan or some smaller school, and he ends up going to Wyoming. That if it wasn't for that, man, he could have given up. The guy did not even get looked at by a Division 1 school, and here he is now in with just 1 game away from being in the Super Bowl for the very first time. So 100%, I am rooting for Josh Allen. 100%, I am rooting to see the Eagles. But if it is the Eagles and the Chiefs, again, Drew, I have to say I'm worried. I'm worried because
I'm not. I think we won over the Chiefs. I look at it like this. I think this is revenge. And right now, the Eagles are favored to win the Super Bowl.
I love it.
I
love it.
Favorite
The Niners had their opportunity and it was right here in Las Vegas. And I went to all the parties. I even made a vlog about it. You guys can check that out on my page. I was so excited for my first year living in Las Vegas to have the 49ers get an opportunity to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm nervous, Drew. Shout out to Paul. He says they already have the flag scheduled for the KC game. True. Patrick Mahomes said on Wednesday that he does not believe the Chiefs get favorable calls from the officials. These are the penalty numbers from the last 11 Chiefs playoff games. Kansas City, 319 yards. Opponents, 541 penalty yards. Of course I'm worried. Of course I'm worried. They haven't lost a game with Taylor Swift in the audience. And I think one of our homies in here in the chat, I think that SS Spider said, didn't Taylor Swift say she was going to fucking move if Donald Trump became the president?
Yep.
Well, then move this weekend. You ain't got to stick around and watch your boyfriend play. Go live in London with Madonna for all I fucking care.
I look at it like this. I think that if nobody's been able to stop this running game for the Eagles, so I'm not worried about it. Eagles win this weekend. I think whoever it is in the Super Bowl they beat. And I think they won all of them. I think that and then you got the number one ranked defense and everything. They're gonna get to Patrick Mahomes. They will get to him constantly. They got young ends, and then you got a chance. Brandon Graham is gonna come back for the Super Bowl. And if he wins the Super Bowl, he's done. He's retiring. And everything. But I look at it. The Bills defense, a lot of questions. They were able to do a good job on Baltimore a little bit. But I think Josh Allen should have torched that second to last ranked Baltimore Raven pass defense. And he only passed for 127 yards. So, if we look at it like this, Josh Allen is winless in the playoffs against Patrick Mahomes. Do they win?
Lost 3.
Do they win? I don't see it. I really think that the defense I think this defense ain't going to play that perfect game. And the Cars, too, are going to take part of it. And I think Patrick Mahomes is just going to go to another Super Bowl where this time around, he's probably going to lose.
I hope he does, Drew. Shout out to Sergio, my primo's in here. He'll probably appreciate this one here. The 49ers are desperately looking for a new defensive coordinator. Robert Saleh, who was let go by the Jets. The Jaguars were supposed to have a second interview for him for head coach. And the 49ers have to compete with that, but it's too late because apparently the Dodgers have fucked the San Francisco fan base again, and they've hired him. That's right. Robert Saleh. Everybody's going to the Dodgers. I mean, we just simply can't win when it comes to this bullshit. No, I'm just kidding, Drew. I thought that shit was hilarious. Robert Saleh is actually, we've got great news. Apparently, Pete Carroll, he wants a nemesis for the 49ers. How many years did we keep losing to Seattle Seahawks in the NFC West? Pete Carroll is considering becoming our defensive coordinator, and that would be incredible. Will he do it? I don't know. Apparently, like I said, Robert Saleh is not going to show up to his second interview with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry, Johnny Savage. Sorry.
There's a rumor that they already got their coach anyway. The Bucs offensive coordinator reportedly accepted the job. But here's the thing. Up there, who you picking, Bill? Who you picking, Dave? You picking the Bills or you picking the Chiefs?
No, I'm rooting 100%. Like I just mentioned, I see my primo who's a lifelong 49ers fan. I'm 100% behind Josh Allen. He's a Northern California farmer kid from the Central Valley. We consider that Northern California. He grew up being a San Francisco Giants fan, and I will not be surprised if his family rooted for the San Francisco 49ers his entire career. He was a little boy playing peewee ball and high school football. I won't be surprised if Josh Allen secretly always dreamed of being a 49er. I will not be surprised.
I'm going 27-24 Chiefs.
Damn. So you really think you're going to see them again, huh? You've already given us your prediction.
I really think I want to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Man.
I think it would be
I don't even want them to go there.
It would be the most satisfying way to cap it off. Beating Tom Brady to go and then beating Patrick Mahomes.
I hear you.
That would be great for me. And then I can go drink on Bar Street or drink at Frankfurt and Cottman and celebrate. And, do the
Sergio says Josh is from Fireball, California. It's a pit stop on the I-5 from the Bay to LA. That's right. It's just a little bit outside of Merced, California, which is definitely considered Northern California. So he's a Northern Cali guy, and that explains his love for the San Francisco Giants organization. Like I said, he was also a standout baseball player, but he didn't get drafted for baseball or football. So I'm rooting for the guy. That being said, Drew, let's look quickly at the odds this weekend. Both games on Sunday. You're up first. The Eagles are favored by 6 points, and the money line is a negative 278 plus 225 underdog for the Commanders. I say Eagles do it, man. A very hotly contested matchup. 3 times you guys have faced each other this year.
34-16 Eagles.
All right. I think you guys put up about 28 or 31. 31-24 Eagles. The game after that, obviously, Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs. Josh Allen has not been able to beat Patrick Mahomes not once in the playoffs. This is the 3rd time, so will the 4th time be the charm for him? I think it is. Even though the Chiefs are favored by 1.5. Buffalo Bills have a tough game ahead of them playing inside of Kansas City, that stadium. Really quickly, are you guys expecting to see snow, or will it stay at 40 degrees?
It's going to stay at 40 degrees. No more snow.
All right. Well, that gives you guys a lot more room to play with your offense for sure. If you guys are just following along, I appreciate everybody. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. We're watching Golden Boy Boxing. The co-main event is about to get started. Eric Priest is the main event. He's a prospect, middleweight prospect that Oscar De La Hoya has a lot of hopes for. I'm watching that closely. This is Fight Week in Las Vegas, Drew. Tons of fight news. We got boxing tomorrow on YouTube here at probox.com, which I just mentioned. Lukey was my co-host on Monday. We'll be covering that as well. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 3 in the morning, I already saw a couple of you hardcore boxing fans ask me what time is the Inoue, pound for pound Inoue, Drew. He is fighting a last-minute replacement. Kim, this Korean guy, Drew, was an orphan. This is at 3 in the morning, and I encourage you, if you guys are interested in this, to go to NewYorkFights.com. My friend Gail Falkenthal just wrote a fantastic article at NYFights.com. This guy, Kim, is a orphan. I mean, he was dumped, and here he is in a world title opportunity in Japan at the last minute with 2 weeks' notice. He's coming off a loss in the U.S. to a guy that had 10 losses, but he's promising to do the unthinkable and knock out Inoue. He's promising. The Korean guy with 2 weeks' notice is promising to not... Crazy shit happens in boxing. We've seen it. Historically, crazy things can happen. That's why we love the sport. It's unpredictable. As much as we want to predict the outcomes, it is the theater of the unexpected. And that is at 3 in the morning. Shout out to you if you guys are going to wake up at 3. Drew, will you wake? It's going to be at 6 a.m. for you on the East Coast. You'll be up, right?
I'm going to work, man.
No, I know you're going to work, but you'll be up at least, right? To read about it?
I'll be up to get ready for work and get myself hype and everything to go to work. Unfortunately, I don't even feel like going to work, but I got to.
I hear you.
I look at it like this. Anyways, expecting to knock this dude out. I wanted to see him fight MJ, and I'm sorry, man. Like these guys and everything. Like he hasn't he decided not to fight MJ. He needs to fight MJ.
He's such a big international star that he literally, this is the stadium that he's going to be fighting at in Japan tomorrow morning, or in just a few hours or whatever in Japan. But look, he has his own merchandise. Look at all the merchandise that you can get of Inoue. We don't have an American boxing star that could sell merchandise like this. And Vegas is going to have their first major fight in just 2 weekends at the T-Mobile. We're going to have David Benavidez versus David Morrell. I'm excited as hell. We've got Jesus Ramos Jr., who's on our channel when he was just a young prospect. He's on that card. That's gonna be a great card. We're gonna talk about PBC and how they're doing. Before we leave football, guys, we will do, of course, a big Super Bowl preview. I am talking potentially to our good friend Finney the Legend that we might be doing a collab, Drew. Again, we did it before with Derek Ware of the Arizona Cardinals, Dallas Cowboys. We might be doing a collaboration show pretty soon, Drew, before the Super Bowl for that. So get ready. Make sure you guys are tuned in for that. We're in the works for a collaboration show. And I'm excited about that because Finney gets 500 people watching him on Tuesday. And I know of those 500 rabid fans of Finney that I'm sure at least 50 to 100 guys in there love talking sports. And Finney and I discussed it. We just can't wait to see that audience, have an outlet for that. I think it's going to be a great thing. We'll see how that comes along. Stay tuned for that. Drew, did you hear Clapback Thursday?
No, but I'm about to clap. I can clap back at people anytime.
Oh, shit. Here it is, guys. If you have not heard the latest installment of Oscar De La Hoya, who lives in Henderson, I'm sure he lives like 10 miles from me. Who else lives in Henderson? Bill Haney and Devin Haney. They're freaking neighbors. They're at war with each other. This was pretty damn funny. We gotta do a commentary to this, Drew. Let's see how this. Let me know if you can hear it. No.
And makes you laugh. It's Clapback Thursday, so let's go. This clapback is dedicated to the worst manager in boxing history, Bill Haney. Bruh. Something we can all agree on.
Bruh. Can we all agree? Is Bill Haney the worst manager in boxing, Drew? A year ago today, I saw Bill Haney at the Virgin. So Theo Media was there. And he had showed up to the Golden Boy fight card starring Virgil Ortiz at the Virgin Hotel, which, by the way, guys, the AVN, yes, for all you perverts, the AVN Awards is right now at the Virgin Hotel. But a year ago, they had a fight, and Bill Haney shows up, and me on Theo Media see him in the hallway, and he's yelling at all the Latinos. He's going, "Where's my Raza at? Where's the Raza at?" And he's going, "Ryan Garcia's not Raza. Ryan Garcia is not Raza." He was there to try to get a fight with Ryan Garcia and Golden, and he got the fight they wanted. Is he really the worst manager in the world?
He really is. I have to say, this whole thing and aftermath has been nothing but a joke, and he's made him and his son out to be a joke. And to tell you the truth, man, I can't but to believe that anybody would want to deal with the Haneys. It's mind-boggling.
Really? Well, let's listen to a little bit more of what Oscar had to say. It's Clapback Thursday.
I want to start by saying that I feel sorry for Devin Haney. We hardly ever hear him speak because his daddy does all the talking. Bruh. And it's cost him all 12 fans he had. Bruh. Sure.
12 fans. By the way, guys, Devin Haney, Bill Haney's from Oakland, California. I have an affinity for Bill. I think, he's one of those dad trainers, dad managers. So is Floyd Schofield, who's going to be fighting. I mean, there's a slew. Angel Garcia, father of, you name it. Lomachenko's dad, trainer. How many guys? Is he really the worst dad in the business?
Haven't had a bad loss this year.
Yes. Unfortunately, he is, because he tries to put himself in the spotlight a little too much.
He does love the interviews.
And if we look at it like this, that he's going along and making bad publicity, and it's just he's too careless with a lot of his actions, and I think that's why people probably had told him, you really need to calm down a little bit. That how am I supposed to make a fight for your son if you're doing all this bullshit? And then your son's on Twitter fucking clapping back at fucking fans and everything.
Well, let's hear a little bit more. I hear you, Drew. Here we go with a little bit more Oscar.
It shouldn't have been career ending. It all could have been easily fixed. Bruh. If it wasn't for his father and manager, Bruh. Bill, who single-handedly turned it all into a more toxic situation than Chernobyl. I have never seen a bigger fucking of a boxer's career in my life.
Disgusted.
All Devin had to do after the losing to Ryan Garcia last April was say he beat me. Yes. I couldn't block his left hook.
Yes.
Drew, you're pretty adamant that Ryan Garcia had his number, that, and I'll admit that Devin Haney seemed to be lacking mental focus the minute the fight started. He walked into that hook. He knew the hook was coming. He knew the hook was there. and he wasn't ready to fight. I mean, he wasn't prepared for it. He's seen that punch a million times. Yes or no? He fought Ryan 6 times as an amateur and first time as a professional.
I think get back in the gym.
I think decision making has really been very questionable. Like, yeah, it's more of it's the harder fight than Ryan's fight with Wally Romero. But it was Isaac Cruz, but it still is still a harder fight because you're bringing Isaac Cruz up from 135 to fight you at 147. It's a joke. And thank God Isaac pulled out like he's used to doing and everything. And first of all, you probably move up to 147, which you bring up another guy, which I don't understand. And, but I think the Devin Haney fight's going to be a born fight.
I hear you. Let's hear a little bit more.
2024 was becoming president of the neighborhood watch here in Henderson, Nevada? Do me a favor. If the wind blows one of my recycling bins too far from the estate, go ahead and chase it down and bring it to my gate.
Drew, they live in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in all of Los. It's not Las Vegas. It's Henderson, its own city, up on the hill, and I believe they live in the same community. And he's saying Bill Haney's best win, and it wasn't in the ring, is becoming the president of the HOA Association. That's pretty fucking funny, Oscar.
Thanks, buddy. This is the closest you'll get to stepping foot in my home ever again.
Wow.
By the way, that house was for sale. Yeah, Darius, by the way, thanks for catching that. Oscar De La Hoya did this clapback today, and he's got a nice shirt on, and it looks like he's in his underwear. He's in his Speedos.
And
come on, why the fuck? I don't want to see Oscar in fucking Speedos.
Well, Darius caught it. He is in his undies.
To another. You have to take control of your life and career and fire your father. Everyone in boxing stood by and watched what happened this year. A year in which you were supposed to shine.
I don't want to see that shit.
A year he was supposed to shine. Thanks a lot, guys. That's all I'm going to have for Oscar. I appreciate it. Hopefully we don't get a strike on that. He wasn't his underwear. Listen,
we got a strike on that. I'm going to be like this. Then why the fuck did he not get a strike for being in his fucking underwear?
I thought we did commentary. I think we did a fair job of doing commentary on it. I thought it was pretty funny. But listen, he's making a point that potentially the lawsuit, which I didn't play that portion of it, the lawsuit was counterproductive. Ultimately, the best fight that Devin Haney can have in his career is a rematch to actually beat Ryan Garcia. Will he beat Ryan Garcia this year in the rematch in October? I highly doubt it. I'm actually worried, guys. If you're following his career, Jose Ramirez, that has been picked as an opponent for him, this is going to be in May. They haven't announced if it's going to be before the Canelo Alvarez fight in Las Vegas or late in May. I think it's way better to have it a holiday weekend. It's always best to have it. Fights are great on holiday weekends. Let people travel. Let people go to Las Vegas, and then let people go to New York City. Our boy from Fresno, two-time unified 140-pound division. Excuse me. He was a unified 140-pound champion. I think he showed enough in the ring in his last fight, Drew, even though he came up short, that he could probably beat Devin Haney. He's the naturally larger, stronger, more experienced, two-time, like I said, two belts, unified champion. I think Devin Haney's got a tough fight ahead of him. He might not even get to the Ryan Garcia fight in October. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia, and hey, shout out to Lukey Boxing who joined me on Monday. He said Raleigh's a great fighter. Come on, guys. I've seen Raleigh all the time. Come on. I know the truth is that Raleigh has... Lukey said it. He's a good fighter. He's being nice. He's friends with Raleigh. He had Raleigh on the... You know what? I was actually thinking he was going to call Raleigh while we were on the air on Monday because he's done
Dave.
that.
I'm sorry. I gotta override you on this. He's banned.
Rolando Romero will most likely, as a professional, not go past 6 rounds. I don't see it happening. I think Ryan Garcia, naturally bigger, more explosive, and yes, Raleigh's unorthodox, and Raleigh has roughed him up. We talked about that on Monday.
Oh, my God.
Raleigh has roughed him up twice in sparring. There's video out there on YouTube. You guys can... And maybe Ryan Garcia was having an off day. Maybe he was cold. But Riley did get, roughed him up. And then you can see that in the clips, but that doesn't mean shit once the headgear's off. Raleigh has walked into the shots of Gervonta Tank Davis, and it's been lights out. And most recently, it's been lights out by Isak Cruz, who's only...
Raleigh walked into a fucking mirror. Come on now.
5'4". I don't see it happening. I don't see it. A shout out to Wiley Coyote. He says he loved the clapback. A clapback, yeah, this was a pretty good one. And like I said, Oscar was in his underwear, but that's to be expected because ever since he's gotten with Holly, Drew, he's always in his underwear.
Oh, my God. I don't want... Yo, Dave, we're not talking about Oscar in his underwear no more. Please, get off the subject, please.
All right, let's talk about some exciting news. We got two more things of big, exciting news. I'm going to be going to the fight this Saturday. This is coming up. The press conferences were today. And Drew, I might actually run into Keyshawn Davis, who I have not seen since we appeared on a broadcast of Twitch Sports.
He owes me an apology.
Keyshawn
for rigging
Davis.
That fucking game.
He rigged that fucking competition. Keyshawn Davis
owes
was
me
there.
An apology and a signed pair of gloves.
Not only is Keyshawn there, Terrence Bud Crawford is here in attendance. He will be there Saturday. We may hear some more stuff about the Canelo Alvarez fight. Steve Cole Nelson, undefeated. He's had some rough times in his career. He's from Oklahoma and Nebraska. He's undefeated, Drew. He's got a lot of power. And Bomac is his trainer. I'm going to be there. It should be very interesting. Not only that, Andy Cruz is there. And you know that Andy Cruz and Keyshawn Davis are probably going to exchange words. But let's get to some very exciting news if you're from the East Coast in Philadelphia. Finally, Drew, we have a resolution to Boots Ennis. Your boy from Philadelphia is going to be having a super fight. Atlantic City has got themselves a super fight. April the 12th, unification welterweight fight against Eliana Stanionis for 2 of the 147-pound belts. We are finally going to have a unification. Now, can we get Drew Evo to go to Atlantic City and have a weekend? That'd be nice.
When's the fight? April 12th, I think about it.
April 12th.
Depends if it depends if I get a female in my life. I might be able to get a room for nothing, I gotta say. And if I get a female in my life, then I might get her Bobby tickets.
Well, we got enough time. We got enough time, Drew. I think you should treat yourself and go and experience a 140s. It's probably going to be one for the books, man. Emiliana Stanionis is a fantastic European fighter. I think the styles are going to mesh very well, and this is going to be an extremely competitive fight, and it's finally laying the pathway for a very bad division where nobody wanted to fight each other, where for a very long time it looked like Boots Ennis could clean out the division, but he wasn't giving the opportunity. And after the negotiations fell apart with Virgil Ortiz, I'm happy to say that his team, including Matchroom Boxing, have finally stepped up and done something good for him.
And I got to say this. Where the haters at now? Haters ain't here no more talking shit.
Where is our normal audience, guys?
I just got to say, tell those haters go fuck themselves. Stay the fuck out.
Well, you know what? I'm going to put it out there. If you guys catch the replay, where's Chicano? Where's Nando? I'm going to go back to horizontal. I hope to have the regular audience that we built the foundation for the Shoe Shine on. I want a whole bunch of you guys to come back because Drew's probably waiting to get trolled about some Boots Ennis stuff. Where are the Boots Ennis trolls?
This is what I gotta say to all you fucking haters. If you can't get some glasses to see this, fuck you.
Oh yeah, and this one too.
I'm gonna say this right now. If I go to this fight, I'm probably gonna be showing off a lot of shit because gotta say Drew. I gotta tell you guys about me. I've never been to a boxing fight. Never been to one. Never been to a boxing fight.
Oh, Drew, you don't know what you're missing, man. It's about time. Treat yourself.
And the thing about it is, man, I got a lot of plans this year where I want to go. Like I'm trying to go down the show again for fucking vacation. I'm probably there is plans in the work. My boy actually hit me up because he actually wants to do it too at December or January if the money's right and we both get the time off to possibly take a trip to Vegas and everything. And I told him
Vegas is ready for you.
He's probably got to get me some shit to fucking make me sleep for it during the fucking plane ride, because I am so petrified of fucking heights and everything. But
yeah, I don't blame you with all these UFOs, by the way, with all these drones in the air in the East Coast, man. I don't blame you. There's some very funny news regarding the welterweight division. I don't even know what weight class this is, actually, Drew. It looks like it's going to be for 154. And this is wild. But Keith One-Time Thurman is back in the boxing news because he had a fantastic press conference. He is going down under, Drew. He's going to the land down under. He's going to do it. He says he's ready to fight again. He's healthy. Remember, he couldn't fight last March. The fight with Tim Tszyu fell apart. He had to back out the fight. And because of that, Tim Tszyu ended up fighting the Towering Inferno, and there went his championship in a very bad year for Tim Tszyu. He's going down under to fight a guy named Jarvis, who was knocked out at 140 pounds by Liam Paro. This is official. PBC sending him down with No Limit Productions, which, by the way, is the people behind Tim Tszyu. Keith One-Time Thurman's going back. He says he's ready. He's going to fight March 12th against Jarvis. This guy's been knocked out by Liam Paro. He had the 140-pound championship for just one fight. He defended. He's been knocked out at 140, Drew. This is a shoe win for even Keith Thurman and his fucked up 37-year-old shoulders.
You sure, man? I can't count this as a fucking show and win.
Anything is possible, but they think it's a shoe win. Keith Thurman set for the first fight in 3 years versus Brock Jarvis, March 12th in Australia, brought to you by PBC in association with No Limit.
When was the last time they had a show and thing, PBC, that went according to plan?
This sounds like it's going to be at 154 because they have big hopes that if Keith Thurman can get past them, you ready for this? This is pretty wild, man. If he can get past him, Tim Tszyu has a dance partner. Tim Tszyu has a path to becoming respected again in the sport of boxing. Not that he lost a lot of respect from me or anybody, but he had a very tough 2024 coming off 2 massive losses. Keith Thurman is already in negotiations with PBC and No Limit to fight Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu's got to win. Keith Thurman's got to win. And then it'll be a fight that probably nobody will give a fuck about. And I am pretty sure that this fight will take place in Australia should Keith Thurman beat Jarvis. Yeah, I know, Drew, you can't believe it, but this is really hot. Meanwhile, Emiliano Stanionis and Boots Ennis, now those are 2 top welterweights. In Jarvis, you got a guy who's not world class versus a guy who used to be world class, and eventually the winner gets to fight Tim Tszyu.
Wow.
I know you can't make this shit up.
I should say, wow.
Drew, I know. Yeah. I know a lot of talk is being circulating around the internet, particularly on X, which used to be known as Twitter. I still call it Twitter. That the demise of PBC is happening. That PBC is on its last leg. They're bankrupt. They can't pay their fighters. But yet in 2 weeks, we're going to have the first big card in Las Vegas of the year, and it's a fantastic card. David Benavidez versus David Morrell. Both of them, David Benavidez, former 168-pound WBC champion, David Morrell, WBA regular champion, I believe. Now they both fighting at light heavyweight. This is going to be a fantastic fight. And if you guys have heard me talk about Bob Santos in the past, Bob Santos and his son, I believe they're co-trainers. They are behind David Morrell. It's very exciting. David Benavidez has kind of become, they call him the Mexican monster. He has to become a good ticket seller, Drew. But it is difficult if you're not a megastar to sell out T-Mobile Arena. 18,000 seats is very difficult to do. I do not think they're going to sell 18,000 seats. If PBC wants to offer me a comp, I will be at the MGM Grand next Wednesday and Thursday, ready to accept my comp tickets. Figueroa versus Fulton, Drew. Philadelphia, the rematch. Figueroa, that was a fight of the year contender. Pitbull Isaac Cruz, who said, Ryan, I can't turn around and fight you, and I'm not going to gain weight for you. Plus, I want some drug testing. Pitbull Isaac Cruz is on that versus Mexico's Fierro. And, of course, Ramos Jr. versus Rosario, former 154-pound champion. Ramos Jr. still somebody I think that might get a title shot at 154. This is a great card. I'll be at the MGM Grand, not this week, but I believe next Wednesday to cover it. Shout out to Ginger Del Rio. Nice to see you in the chat. Say hello to your husband. I saw a great live the other. I caught her live on replay, Ginger. It was Chingaderas with T. Marie in San Francisco. And I want to say, if you can pass on the word, shout out to them for touring my old city, man. That's where I freaking grew up, San Francisco, La Misión. That was wonderful to see them live streaming for 5 hours in the Bay. I appreciate that. Drew, that's happening next week. This Saturday, like I said, the Cosmo. I know you see a big size difference here, but Steve Nelson can crack. He's got Bomac behind him. And speaking of Bomac and Terrence Bud Crawford, we still do not know who Canelo Alvarez is going to fight in Las Vegas for Cinco de Mayo. It's a huge weekend. Whether you're a fight fan or not, Cinco de Mayo in Las Vegas is an epic time to be here, Drew. We don't know. They are saying that Canelo is still in negotiations for a 3-fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh of Saudi Arabia. And today they were saying Canelo Alvarez plans on retiring from boxing in 2029. He's 34. That's what, 4 years from now? He'd be 38, Drew. And one has to wonder if he's going to fight Jake Paul. I think you heard rumors about that. Turki Al-Sheikh certainly knows. Turki Al-Sheikh knows the Netflix fight with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was the most watched boxing event in almost all, not all history, but in recent history. So if he's got 4 years to go, at some point he's going to start fighting guys like Jake Paul. I think even this Monday, Lukey Boxing said that he sees Canelo with 1 foot out the door as a kind of an entertainment boxer, someone that's not really willing to take big risks.
I don't. I'm sorry, man, but like, I don't understand why are you even boxing then still? Like, I don't know. Like, he plans to retire in 2029. Are your next goal is to move up and go on to spirit light heavyweight?
Man, he's a small guy to be going up to 175. Again, this weekend, guys, I'm going to be at the Cosmopolitan. I hear there's some really nice new Mexican restaurant. I'm going to try to go there and have a drink at the Cosmo. Look at how beautiful it is to watch a fight there, man. It's the, what's the name of that theater? I love this place. This theater is one of my favorite places to watch boxing in all of Las Vegas. And plus, you can't beat the atmosphere of the Cosmopolitan. It's just one of my favorites. Who do you got winning this fight, Drew? You got Andy Cruz against a very tough Mercado. Is it Mercado? This guy Mercado, I believe, is Puerto Rican. He's undefeated.
Andy Cruz is by knockout.
This guy Mercado was talking shit to Keyshawn Davis today. Keyshawn Davis was there. Keyshawn Davis is about to get his title opportunity. I think it should be a good fight. Thank you, Darius, the Chelsea Theater. That's right. It's a fantastic venue to watch fights and concerts as well. Who do you have in this winning the main event? Diego Pacheco?
Yeah, I got Diego Pacheco winning. He didn't look too good in his last fight, but I think he might correct a little bit of what went wrong and everything. It's the landscape is getting smaller now because you got to eliminate Jaime Munguia now. And the next thing is maybe Christian and Billy fight.
He was supposed to fight Christian and Billy, and somehow Christian and Billy isn't willing to come to the table. Hopefully, Turki Al-Sheikh can say, listen, I work with you, Top Rank. I work with you, Bob. Let's make this fight happen. If you guys don't know who Diego Pacheco is, he's David Benavidez' main sparring partner. He's 6'3", 168 pounds. He comes from the worst gang-infested neighborhood of South Central L.A. He's a great fighter. He's a great contender, and he's now the #1 WBO rated. At some point, Canelo Alvarez is going to have to say, shit, are you guys going to order me? The WBO is going to have to force it. Hey, listen, this kid is 23. He's from South Central. He's undefeated. He's done everything we asked. We're ordering you to fight him. I don't know if Canelo is going to give opportunities to guys that are this young at 23, that are a legitimate threat.
I don't know.
What do you think of, if you guys haven't heard, Drew let me know this, but speaking of Canelo Alvarez, former opponents that are young, Jaime Munguia has just joined camp with with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez's team is now going to be training Jaime Munguia, who is going to be having a rematch with the guy that just knocked him the fuck out. That's pretty good news.
It has 4 knockouts now. He has 5.
Jaime Munguia joining Team Canelo. Canelo likes him so much. What do you guys think? Is it time for Canelo Alvarez to retire? How soon? Do you like his plan? He says he's got 4 years left. But with that being said, who's going to fight over 4 years if he's avoiding all these young fighters? It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think if he's avoiding all these guys, why are you fighting, dude? But you know, fans are stupid enough to pay for it. But let them be stupid. So fuck them.
Steve Nelson is not a particularly tall, super middleweight. He is very strong, Drew. He's got a good knockout percentage. I think he had some time off. If Terrence Bud Crawford is going to fight Canelo Alvarez this September for Mexican Independence Day, Steve Nelson is going to be a crucial, important part of Terrence Crawford's team because he is a legitimate contender at 168, even though he's young. Steve Nelson is young. No disrespect, man, but people going around saying he's an old looking super middleweight. He is undefeated. He is very strong. He does train with Terrence Crawford, and he will be critical to Terrence Crawford come September as a sparring partner. Terrence has got to start sparring with big guys, much bigger guys than him.
Yep.
Oh, man. It's been a good show, Drew. Let's see if I got any more boxing news. There's been a ton of stuff really quickly. Let's take a look at what Golden Boy Boxing is doing. They're still in the co-main. If you guys are so inclined to watch some boxing tonight on YouTube, go to goldenboyboxing.com. The main event is it underway? No, the main event, we're in round 9 of 10 of the co-main. Eric Priest is a solid 160-pound contender. Tomorrow night, Pro Box. Speaking of guys that train with stars, is Edgar Berlanga a star? Because Lopez on Pro Box tomorrow, I like this guy named Lopez. He's a light heavyweight, and he's fought at super middleweight before. He will be the main event on Pro Box tomorrow night. And if you're really a hardcore boxing fan, again, this fight starts at 3 a.m. on the West Coast. Naaya Inoue, pound for pound fighter, fighting a Korean last minute replacement. Well, guy you need to watch is this Japanese fighter, Jin Sasaki. This welterweight from Japan is insane. He's not fought in the U.S., Drew. The dude has insane knockout power. That's a co-main guy that I'm very much interested in. You never know. This guy, Jin Sasaki, might show up on U.S. soil and potentially be an opponent to somebody like Boots Ennis someday, especially if he impresses tomorrow. Like, you're going to start seeing talks of him coming to the U.S., man. It's going to be a good fight. Hey, SB, I appreciate you guys that were here. Everybody that's been in here, everybody from the Yayo gang. Shout out to everybody there. Drew, your final thoughts on this weekend? Football, basketball?
Go Eagles.
Did I tell you?
And I'm going to say this right now. I am not watching the 76ers no fucking more this year. No, I'm really not watching no more this year. It's a fucking waste of time. Fucking. Oh, don't get me started on the fucking Sixers. Anybody ask me to go to a Sixers game, do not ask Drew to go to a Sixers game. He will not fucking go.
All right, before we get off, Drew, Bob Arum, there's a top-ranked fight card this weekend. I believe it's going to be in Mexico. But Bob Arum, you know, he let Terrence Crawford go on bad terms. Terrence wanted out of that contract the same way that Teofimo Lopez wants out. But Bob Arum had some nice things to say in regards to Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fighting, and this is going to be a hot debate, so much so that even a lot of casual boxing fans are already beginning the debate. He says, I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight. I think what Crawford is looking for is a Manny Pacquiao versus Oscar De La Hoya, and that's a fight where Oscar De La Hoya drained himself at the end of his career. He wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao so bad that he drained himself, I think, 10 pounds. Oscar being in his late 30s, it was a very difficult weight cut. It's not the same because Crawford is going to be moving up to fight Canelo with no weight rehydration clause. So it's not quite the same thing, but Terrence Crawford moving up 2 divisions, could he still be explosive moving up in weight? We're going to debate that for months to come.
I don't know.
Thanks a lot, SB, everybody that's still with us. We'll be back on Monday night. Next week, I should be doing some live streams, I think, at the MGM Grand on Wednesday for Media Day. David Benavidez versus David Morrell. PBC is coming to town. Everyone will be here. Thursday is a Media Day. Hope to get some interviews in person. And I just wish everybody a beautiful and blessed weekend. Turn on Golden Boy Boxing. Watch Pro Box tomorrow on YouTube. You got the highlights of Inoue, and then you got championship football, Drew. Congratulations to the Eagles. I know I was kind of fucked up to all of you Chiefs fans, but if you're a Chiefs fan, and I've got some friends that are Chiefs fans, you know it's tongue-in-cheek. You know, shout out to your team. I'm Dave in the 702. Drew, we'll see you next Monday. Peace out, everybody.